to my turbo. It's a k20 Z3 CRX chassis, log manifold. You might have like an A2 with a port, heater port in the back or something you might utilize. But I mean, all the principles will be the same. You just might route your lines differently. Anyways, yeah, so just the basics. This is the outlet, this bypass, also the outlet for when the thermostat's closed. It's still coming, the water's still flowing into the pump back through. So where's it going? Anyways, first things first, you need to loosen all your turbine and compressor bolts to get your angle. Mine's at 10 to 20 is what the manufacturer suggests. 20, just to help with the thermal siphoning effect. So yeah, I just got that done. And now for fittings, I got these. These are 10 AN ORB, and then a 6 to 10 ORB. 2 of those, so we could tap into the heater cord lines. I sell these for the heater. If you want to put AN fitting on here, you can do that with these. Yeah, my clearance is too tight, so I can only get the top one on, not the bottom, so I probably just won't use them. Here's your part number. They come in 5/8 and 3/4. 5/8's too small, 3/4 too big. But if you get the 5/8, you can drill this out just enough so it'll go over the barb right there. Yeah, just drill it just enough, and the O-ring will seal it on when it compresses. You also have to drill out the inside of this just a little bit so it slides over up to the barb. That's it. If you want to run these guys, they look clean. And I just got some push lock, 5/8 hose, 90s. What is this? I don't know. That was for something else. The silver piece comes with the K10 water neck. So let's take out that plug. Put that on there. And then for the turbo itself, one's already on there. And the valve for the heater. This isn't the OEM one for the CRX. It's just kind of universal, but it's metal. I think the CRX one's like plastic. So next to all this heat, I got this one. I just have to make a bracket off it. Very well to drill a bracket. And that's kind of where I'm at. Yeah, I couldn't clock it past 10 because just my clearance with the outlet and the V-band of the wastegate. But yeah, 10 to 20 degrees if you can. If not, I'm sure you're all right. Yeah, I gotta dig out my 10 AN hose and 6 AN hose. then I'll get back to it. Alright. Made a little bit of progress. The first problem I had is this cable's too short. So maybe source one from another vehicle, Tiger or something, I don't know. But yeah, that was a problem. Also with this valve, the hold down interferes with the top hose here. So you have to chop it off right there, move it forward, weld it on, and now I got clearance to get the top hose on. Well, right now I'm gonna use this threaded hole right there and just make a bracket. I weld it on right here in just a 90. I just gotta cut it out of some cardboard. And then, well, I already cut one piece. Cut it out of the 16 gauge here. But yeah, I'll pull all this off so I can get welding, I guess. Cutting and welding. And we'll go from there. Alright. The valve has been mounted and my T-piece is basically in position. Move it a little, but that's that. Got my coolant drained already, so I can undo that plug down there. And then still gotta take off this so I can get down to that plug, but I'll do the supply hose first. I had to buy some more 10AN PTFE. Wasn't bad, about $664 with tax for all of it. See if it leaks or not. It's not name brand or anything. peel this back. Sure you get it right up to the lip right here. And you're good. Alright, now it's time to attach the hose to the fitting. I don't have a proper vise, soft jaw vise, so I'll just put a little paper towel so it doesn't get scratched up too bad. Just put a little grease on the threads. There we go. Slide this guy on. That should do. Okay, just finished the mocking up the supply line for the heater core / turbo. Just the 90 off there, very tight fit, and it loops up to the 45 off the T-piece. Can't see it that good. And then now I'm working on the turbo feed hose. It's the 90 off that T, loop the same way, come up to this 45 here. Just waiting on the 10 AN flare to 8 AN ORB for the thermostat housing to come in the mail. So I'll just work on this 6 AN hose for now. All right, I just realized they screwed up my order. Just gave me CPE hose instead of PTFE that I ordered, but whatever, it'll work just fine. Just not what I want, man. Get to assembling it. All right, got it pushed up to the threads. I'll just lube the fitting up nicely. So, where's my marker? Put a little mark, make sure the hose doesn't push out. Okay, I got the feed hose on. Everything tightened up. This runs right there. Yeah, it's a bitch tightening this up, but I got it done. Now I'm just have to figure out how much to trim off this silicone hose so I can move this way so my line will fit. This will make it too close. It won't be able to bend. So yeah, I'm just gonna try to test fit some fittings, see where I'm at. Okay, got this T-piece mounted. Push it down a little bit. I was gonna run a 90, but that leaves like no room almost. So I'm gonna run a 180, give the line a little more slack here. And then just got my 10AN mounted in the housing there. So I'm gonna make that 10AN line real quick. Just run it up through there and follow those lines, I guess. We'll see. If you don't have an extra port, you could just tee into this line here. All right. Got my T-piece on the top. I was gonna try to run a 90, but it's just not enough room really. So I'm gonna run a 180, give the line a little more slack. And I'm just feeding the 10AN hose through there. And I switched these. I had that in the front. So got a new hose. You only need a foot. So it's like $2 at AutoZone. Got that to put on. And then I already put a 45 on the 10AN. So attach all that, then cut it to length and put the other fitting on. The final 10AN hose complete. I ended up just running a 90 on this side instead of the 45. 45 is hard to get on. So we'll run the 45 on the back, 90 here, and just have to feed it through again. Put it on, and then do the final 6AN hose. Okay, it's all tying down. Through. Put a little clamp here. So one more line to make. There's that last hose just made. Should be it. Put it on and then fill the coolant back up. Check for leaks. All right, everything is tight, I think. So just gonna fill her back up. It's just gonna take a little more for the heater core volume and the turbo volume. Pray for no leaks. So I ended up getting a leak from this fitting, but everything else held up tight. Yeah, it's just that one, which I remember this one did. The mating surface looked a little suspect when I put that on there. I was just too lazy to change it. So, yeah, gotta pull it off. Do it again. Try it out again. Alright, I got that fitting replaced and dissolved. All Plano. Not a dripping sight. Burping the coolant.